Thanks for inviting us in tonight. We now know the name of that suspect that shot an IMPD officer last night. Police have now identified this suspect as 31-year-old Malik Hill. Investigators told us Hill is receiving medical treatment and was last listed in serious condition. IMPD has not released the name of the police officer who was shot, but the last update we received said that officer was in serious but stable condition. Our Logan Gay shares tonight what neighbors who live near the scene had to say about last night.
Neighbors who live here near Woodlawn Avenue are still shaken up after an IMPD officer was shot in the alley behind me.
It's scary. It was scary. Still is.
Neighbors Debbie Turner and Melanie Potter spent Monday on high alert after a shooting involving an IMPD officer happened on the 1600 block of Woodlawn Avenue near their homes Sunday night.
I was laying in my bed, almost halfway asleep, and I heard pop, 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 pop.
Before they could figure out what was happening, a one-year IMPD officer in field training was shot, and their once quiet neighborhood was filled with police looking for the suspect, who we now know as 31-year-old Malik Hill.
There was the helicopter and the drone and tons of people, obviously, and you could actually physically see the circle getting smaller and smaller as the cops got closer and closer to the location.
Turner spent the time worrying about the safety of her and her neighbors.
It's sad. It's sad that these days it's come like this with violence and guns.
IMPD says Hill is receiving medical treatment and was last listed in serious condition. And the IMPD officer is in serious but stable condition. Potter says she's been keeping her kids closer since the incident and says this is a step backward for the community.
The neighborhood's coming up. It used to be commonplace. When we first moved here, it wasn't unusual to hear gunfire or see police, and so it kind of makes me a little bit sad because, it's supposed to be coming up, and then it's like, well, it's not, it's not quite there yet.
Turner is relieved the suspect has been caught, but she says this incident should be a reminder to everyone to be on their guard.
Incidents like this are always unexpected. You can't never tell just because you're in a certain neighborhood what's going to go on.
Now tonight, IMPD shared new details with us about how they tracked down that suspected shooter. Police are telling us that help from the public was crucial. Several people called about a possible suspect. SWAT teams also relied on drone cameras, leading them to Hill's location on Dawson Street. Police also found a gun next to Hill when getting him medical attention. Several officers were wearing body cams at the time of that shooting last night. That footage is now under review. Remember, you can keep track of breaking updates as they come in. We've got it on WTHR.com and on our news app. And that wraps up tonight's big story.